Disclaimer: the information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GANs processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the man. Now you understand maybe why the Creator has sent His messengers in the name of whatever you have had. Is that they bring the ears, that it can be used when the time of the Messiah comes. They can teach the soul and the message, not to oppose, but by them understanding through those who have become messiahs to give from their souls to these to elevate, the job is made easy. The school is there and the students are devotedly there. Then there won't be any fight between what they call the Muslims and the Christians. The lamb and the lion will eat and sleep in the same nest. The Christians and the Muslims will sleep and pray in the mosque and in the same church in the name of their souls, not in the name of religion that is used to create so much conflict for the benefit of those who were the hyperactive children. The time has come, the time of change is here. And as I said, my wish is my command. If it's your wish to see peace, the path of peace is laid very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness by giving will create that position of change. No other thing. There is no pen in the soul of the man. And I'm sure once you go into the universal community, you will never see anything written but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. Try to be humble enough not to and you possess. Otherwise, you'll fall in the same path of the church and the mosque. This is what we promised, and this is what we have delivered. We have to understand the operation of the soul, and we have to understand the soul of the man is a star in the cosmos of the universe. If we compare the soul of the man and many of us, 7 billion in one collection, Earth is like a galaxy with so many stars. When we look in the depth of the universe, we see galaxies with hundreds of millions of stars in it. So is the planet Earth. It carries 7 billion beautiful stars, which are the soul of the man. Carries with it soul of so many trillions of animals, plants, and everything else. So if you look, when someone who does not see the physicality of the earth and its content, what do they see? They see a galaxy with so many beautiful lights shining, each one according to their strength, each one according to their position. An infant has a beautiful soul, so has the old man. To those who do not see the physical dimension of this planet, but they see the strength of the field, we are clusters of stars. The human race, every single soul, no one from a distance sees, that's the soul of a fisherman, that's the soul of the cosmologist, that's the soul of the president. They all shine, irrespective of the physicality. This is the magic. This is what the new science has to bring to man. When we look to our soul, we see nothing but a star in the other souls. And this is the break. This is the understanding. This is what all these teachings are about. Coming to mature to the next level, to understand in the deep space, the universe is the oyster for those souls who serve. Then man is ready to go into space. Then man is ready to become part of the universal community which has been promised. I never promised you heaven. I always promised you the elevation of the man to join the family. And now you have the key. It's you who has to open the door to understand, if I can raise the soul of these people or millions of other souls, that the physical life on this planet changes, then I'm worthy to be part of the universal community. To be there to serve, to expand, to be there, to be part, that in the cycle of life of universe, I become, in being part, I become part of the totality. When man reaches that point, a new dimension in the strength of the soul of the man will appear, which is beyond imagination of understanding of the physical life. It's the gate to the opening of the new life, in a new dimension, which is beyond imagination of what you might call a new beginning, a new cycle, which that cycle carries with itself the origin of the creation of life in the universe and the universe. It's the elevation of the soul to serve become the key, not a throne of the physical life. The time is right. The time has come for the man to go through this process.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 422nd One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace here on Tuesday, March 17th, 2026. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute, Education Department, and part of the Public Teachings in English. My name is Rick Crammond, and I will be host once again in this weekly series of continuous workshops. And once again, we have the honor of being joined with the members and support members of the Universal Council, who are here to present today's program. And just let me get that program ready here. And get it all shared up, and there we go. And I believe we begin with Dean or Stefania.
Thank you, Rick. I will speak if it's okay first. So, welcome to the One Planet, One Nation, and One Race for, as we know, for justice and world peace. And that peace, as we know at the moment, is being tested for many of us in physicality, in many, many different field strength and dimensions. I always like to refer back to the teachings of the Universal Council and of the foundation, Mr. Keshe's teachings. And I'm looking at an introduction here about plasma and about the emotion or the emotional spectrum that we receive. And it says here that we've learned that the soul is always shining. It is independent of physicality and of its transition through the emotions. So, to my understanding, what does that mean? For me, the soul is present with us, completely encompassing all that we do and interact with as a human being, as a soul present in physicality, in and around our environment. And our emotions are constantly adjusting to the environment. And that environment can be outside of ourselves. It could be the atmosphere, the very plasma around us, outside of the physicality. And we have the five senses, and we feel the sun on our face, or a coldness if it's a cold morning or a cold day. We also feel the wind, a plasmatic wind, or maybe just a wind on our face, on the three layers of the skin of the man, and we feel that structure, we feel that essence around us of the outside of us. Then there's the next stage, the next position, which is the teachings of the Universal Council, and particularly Mr. Keshe and all the knowledge seekers. They've come to understand this, that we have this spark of creation, the soul of man, that is constantly shining and is present with us in each and every moment. And we know that the Universal Council is very connected to the soul. They work with the soul constantly. They are giving from their soul and creating the matter state interactions from the emotions of the interactions of the environment that they are within. The Universal Council is present in many different shapes and forms. There's physicality and soul. beautiful souls from the universal community here to guide and help humanity through this this peaceful transition of the soul and the maybe a slight bumpy ride of the physicality. However, we all end up at the same position, path. It all leads to the same place. Around the outside of me in the structure that I've come to know, somebody recently passed away. And they were here. I saw them in one moment. And then I was told, you know, almost the next day that they just passed away. They'd gone. And I was like, whoa. And it's funny how that person, when I saw them last, I actually made a comment. And I said, you look very you're wonderful in your face. Or, you know, their eyes were very bright and their face was blooming. I thought, wow, you look very well. But they said, no, maybe not. But they looked very well. And I've noticed this when you're about to transition, that the body responds by giving, you know, it comes into full bloom. It looks very magnificent. And that's the soul knowing that the transition time is very close. And the physicality starts to accept and manifest this condition. So we're all very aware of the beauty of the soul. And when we interact with the soul, we start to interact in a different way, depending upon your intention and your wishes, and how you would like to give and receive through the soul, which will then enable the physicality to live a certain and receive a certain beauty. This is the Universal Council's ethos, this emotional spectrum. And it's a very difficult thing to understand if you use the logic, you know, the thinking brain. But if you let that go and you use the soul and sense and feel it, then you'll have a different transitional interaction. So in these particular moments and on in this particular moment, we wish you very welcome to the Universal Council meeting in this particular moment, and we join our souls together and communicate and interact and feed each other energies that we require to bring us to balance and to bring peace to all the particular parts that we interact with around and in our very sphere of field strengths of the soul of the man. So welcome to the One Planet, One Nation, One Race. And we know we will go through a beautiful transition today, listening to all the souls speak their beauty. Thank you very much. Thank you, Rick.
Okay, next we have, let's see here, the World Peace Treaty with Mark and Shweta.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you, beautiful soul. As we say, there is a beautiful saying from a beautiful soul. A human always think of becoming an angel. What if an angel already projecting its consciousness to experience through a human body? Same way, human waits for ETs, gods, avatars, ascended masters come to rescue. What if all of them are so helplessly dependent on human to awaken its true potential? So we have to understand that the path of peace is so easy. So this World Peace Treaty, my dear one, sign the World Peace Treaty for the peacefulness that starts from you, so that you understand how your ability works to collectively giving this universal love. All the cosmos depends on one being, the humanity. So I will read the World Peace Treaty, and uh, this is so important to sign the World Peace Treaty with your soul pen, with your pen, with your soul pen. Use your heart with love, my dear, when signing the World Peace Treaty, wherever you are in the cosmos. So I will say, um, 1 minute. Yes. And the World Peace Treaty says, we, the citizens of the earth from this moment on, accept to lay down all tools of aggression and war. We shall never think about getting involved or incite war or develop or use any tools of war on this planet or in space. And to this we all agree and swear with our nation, territory, council, religion, city, town, body, and soul, my dear beautiful soul. So, this one consciousness of peace brings all that abundance, all that love, which is so universal. And this is our ability, all was, is, and will be always to do it, as we do in the soul elevation. What, how much confident we are now with this I am present. So, sign the World Peace Treaty, beautiful soul. And as a soul being, we are connected. It was. And it is working. There should be no war anymore. We shouldn't have to read War and Peace. We shouldn't have to read Yuval Harari that AI will control the future. The future is ours. The Eden is ours. The love is ours. The peace is only ours. So, thank you, my dear. Salam, namaste, salute. Mark, you're so much welcome. Or anybody else want to say something?
Sure,
Okay.
unless someone else wants to open their mic. And the more I read this, of course, it's much more profound than is what's on the surface. But the much more I read this, and when I see the tools of war in space, and again, deep space, when you go into deep space, and I keep thinking about what's going on in our own universe. Remember, we are a universe or a unicos, and perhaps that dimension of space between your ears in a way is not so peaceful. And this is the part of the space that we need to make peaceful or more peaceful by the thinking, speaking, and acting sort of dimension. This is how we can sort of make our universe and the fields we're emitting into the environment a more peaceful place. And if we can get that space to be peaceful, he said, then you can enter the dimension of the universal community. And again, I think it's just our psychic dimension. Becoming peaceful opens it up, not exclusively. We've seen many people have psychic dimensions that abuse it. And of course, in the long run, it'll probably bring their demise. But the more peaceful we become, perhaps the more the knowledge and the ability, and maybe this is the year when man is going to start realizing about his psychic, or what we call the energy side of his creation. So bringing peace in the physicality, we know what our hands are doing and how we pick flesh off other entities to sustain our own. But important, but also important is the peace in that universe. And if you can bring peace into that universe, which is, you know, you have that Carolyn core between the soul and the brain, and this is kind of the universe in that energy dimension. If you can bring peace into that, then you can enter into this sort of psychic or energy dimension of the universal community. This is what I've been thinking, and I just wanted to share that. But again, it's finding peace within that and creating that within yourself first. I know I'm not fully there, and I hope I'm not talking like I am, but I'm on the same path to become more peaceful as everyone else who's wishing for peace.
Yes, my dear Mark, I also want to add that this peace helps us merging with the fundamental plasma that is a soulful energy and that is so in flow now and become an hydrogen, kind of neutrality we bring within us with this peace, this neutrality, and it helps us to be an observer too. And when we become an observer, we understand, we see through all these things, and we know what we don't need anymore. Sometimes without in peace, when we are not in peace, we stop listening, we stop hearing, we stop talking good, we stop being, you know, understandable. So when you become an observer, peace, neutrality, hydrogen, fundamental plasma, you move more fast and you see that the most, horrible radiation is coming besides from you, very close. Then you can understand how to eliminate, how to not be there. So this is what, you know, the emotion of two beings, I will say, interact. And because of the first being emotionally blackmailing the second being, like a radiation very high, the second being dies of sadness. So this is also to be observed, starting from you to your family, to your society, to your condition, to your country, to all the country, to the globe, to the planet, to the cosmos. So this is so much universal. Thank you, my dear. Start observing, dear beautiful soul, in peace. Thank you. Thank you so, so much.
Sweta, thank you. It's Dean again here. May I just quickly say something about the World Peace Treaty? So I'm looking at it, thank you, Rick, on screen at the moment, the World Peace Treaty, one planet, one nation, one race. And when you view it from the bottom, from right to left, and you go from the soul, the body, town, city, religion, council, territory, nation. So it's a viewpoint. We always view things in a certain way. We become very programmed to understand in a certain analytical way to see a structure. The soul doesn't work like this. So the World Peace Treaty is from the soul down. It's from the soul up. It's from the soul within, and then it emanates this out. It becomes part of the structure. It's a plasma. It's a plasma energy interaction that is a focused intention that has a field strength from a seed position that is released with an intention, an emotion, a thought linked to a physicality that is connected from the aspect of a soul that is connected to the whole creation point. That's when we start to realize the unlimited beauty of the soul shining. And it's connected through the souls that have brought this universal knowledge to the planet. And they've brought about this condition that is already present within the the universal community. They're extremely, extremely peaceful. They would never consider this this part that we have in physicality that is happening all around us. So for them, the World Peace Treaty is they sign it with their soul because they would never think to do such things. They would never take in that way. They would only give unconditionally a surplus of energy that they have to another. They wouldn't just take, and they understand the ethos of the whole of creation, and they're here to guide and teach humanity. And they presented this World Peace Treaty, and it goes, we are citizens of the earth from this moment on, except to lay down all tools of aggression and war. We shall never think about getting involved or incite war or develop or use any tools of war on this planet or in space. And to this we all agree and swear with our nation, territory, council, religion, city, town, body and soul. If this becomes part of your ethos, you've already joined the universal community. You've already joined the soul of man with all the other souls. And the World Peace Treaty is here for each and every one of us to understand the unlimited beauty of the soul when you connect with this knowledge that is being freely shared and amongst humanity in these moments. So sign the World Peace Treaty with a thought and intention. If you need to write it with a pen, please do so. But use your soul and come back into peace. Thank you, Sweta. Thank you, Rick.
Thank you, Dean. And of course, there is a tool set up by the Keshe Foundation, which Mr. Keshe referred to as the backbone of the work of the foundation, which is this game of peace and enlightenment. And this is part, I think, of the maturity, he said, with the game we set up. So we're sort of fine-tuning. Maybe you're pretty much a very peaceful person, but we can fine-tune it in a way or mature it. And this is part of the game. Maybe they'll cover it later in this program. That's open to everyone. And this helps your maturity. It actually does the same thing that 3I did. It touches every part of this planet and every entity on it, and the game will do the same, where we teach ourselves to be more peaceful, especially in space.
I'll just share what the game looks like here so that people have a little tempting example of the colorfulness of the game, at least once you start visiting different places within the environment. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. And perhaps we will have a look at that later.
Thank you, Rick.
Okay, let's carry on here. And let me see here. I have an excerpt to play from the last 633rd Knowledge Seekers Workshop. And this is about the test during the workshop.
It's not about Stefania. I see she just joined us. I thought it was about Stefania in a way when he had mentioned her name in the workshop, but she said, no, it was a different Stefania. So we all thought it was our beloved Stefania, which she just arrived here, Rick.
Yeah, the question was not mine. I didn't make that question. I was translating in Italian.
Okay, and this starts at the 1 hour, 20-minute mark. And I've got that set up here correctly. So this is about a 3.5-minute excerpt. Here we go.
There is a structure which we understand that we can filter or we can create certain plasmatic fields. Have you ever, maybe some of you have, maybe some of you don't, this structure comes out of reality and understanding. Have you ever been touched by a stranger and that touch has given you certain emotion? Loving, hating, regretting. We can create those things. We can create, we can not develop, development is not there. We can create very much structures that can give that emotion. Many of you, all of you today, are part of that test, part of that process. If you look at the backgrounds of the work of the foundation, we now know the field strength of the emotions in the soul of the man and the field emotion of the physicality of the man. And we can create that condition. We can transfer, transmit in a plasmatic condition the emotion of love. And we associate love with touch, with emotion of feeling love to give. And these kind of structures will be part of the future work, because we don't know how this came out of understanding, being in touch with people who say they don't know what love is. But if they create a condition that they can receive that love and touch someone with the love, they change the emotion in themselves. They change the emotion inside themselves and the person they touch. When a simple touch, it changes life. And how now it's like a disability which man has, but man does not know how to do. And these are structures, these kind of, in the next 2 or 3 years, we will release hundreds and thousands of products within the structure of the Keshe Foundation.
All right, that's our first excerpt from the 633rd Knowledge Seekers Workshop. And we'll get back to our presentation.
And if you go to the Keshe Foundation store, it is soon to disappear, as I heard, and it's to appear on Shopify. So if you go there one day and the next day it's not there, perhaps there'll be a redirect, right, Rick, to Shopify?
That sounds like transmutation to me. So the shop's going to transmute into a different form. That's interesting. But it'll keep its core products, and that should be a big step forward, I think, for the Keshe Foundation. Sounds like it anyways. So we look forward to that. Is there any ETA on that, Mark? Have you heard any word when that might happen?
No, I just had heard that a couple months ago, that it was going to disappear, or maybe in the last 6 weeks he had mentioned it. But again, these things have to be staged and worked out, whatever.
Maybe it'll come in with the start of the what do you call it, the version 1 of the game when it comes out of beta in March 21st, I believe it is, which is when, let me have a look here.
Is this
That's
Saturday?
Saturday, yes.
And
If all goes according to schedule. Yeah.
right. And perhaps they're waiting for an app to be developed. I was just looking at 622 workshop, and there was an app they're investigating as well to add into this. Whether that would
yes, that
Shopify or whether that would appear on one of the app stores, I'm not sure.
right. It may need to be approved before the whole store thing goes through and so on. Well, we shall see, but it's good to know there's things happening in the background that way. Okay, shall we go to the next position? I take that as a yes. The next part we have is what's called the wishes. And we have several wishes here, and I'll remind our audience we'll have a full minute of silence for reflecting on and implementing each wish.
Yes, hello. It's Mehran, Universal Council for Language. Happy to be here. Just humbly ask anybody, please give from yourselves, your souls. We are the only ones in this manner who want to change the world. In this world that with our prayers, with our giving, everybody is winning. We are winning because what's given comes back more. It's an exercise for our souls to go and come back. Secondly, we just put a power together. It creates a synergy, which is not equal to each of us. So please take this opportunity and as much as you can, and really contemplate, give from your souls, because unless the peace on earth is not achieved, the possibility of giving this free technology is impossible. So please really contemplate if you like, and maybe we can give a force to this wind of peace which is coming to the earth, and really take care of peace. And even those we pray for or we give from our souls, even though there are people who make wars, what we wish is that we give to their souls so that they elevate and they see with their eyes, like somebody who's drunk, doesn't understand where it is. They do just things by their soul of physicality and their whatever. So when they wake up, when they get what they want and just feel calm enough to see what they're doing, to just throw away the means of aggression or the idea of aggression. So that's what we are aiming to. So we really want us, even a minute, 1 minute, it's not enough, but just contemplate and give from yourselves or imagine or visualize that we just take care of this really humiliating things for humanity which we see going on, just for a few who sell arms. Nobody profits from that, and then they have to lie, they have to kill, they have to censor, they have to change a lot of liberty of people just to hide what the whole thing, which is selling arms and making money on that, and then helping their group or Epstein groups to be more powerful with the price of those who are modest people, who are not just thinking of having more and more money, they are getting lower and lower, and they have difficulty even in Western countries to take care of their lives. So we really, in our position, this is something everybody is winning. We want everybody is winning. We are all a part of God. We are all a part of Creator. That field of Creator is inside us. It's just too much ungodly things, too much selling our souls has become that we cannot see that light. We cannot see that satisfaction in us. And we are worth more than all these things we see. And the media is with them. They want to make more horrible things that everybody watches, and they sell more publicities and vice versa. So we want to end that, and we really are determined, because when you understand how it feels to be in peace, you never can go back. When you are in peace and your soul is in peace, everything comes towards you. You don't have to run behind everything. Mr. Keshe says, if your soul is strong, it can bring everything you need and you want. So I believe in that. And sometimes I feel like that. I don't run behind things. Things come towards me. So what we want is the richness of soul, poverty of soul, power of the soul. And one of the ways to make it is to give unconditional love. Just like a child which shares the biscuit they have. We have to be like child. We have to be good unconditionally, even though there is nothing in exchange. And that's the only way our soul rises, we elevate. That's the only thing counts, not the things we do because we are expecting something or we are obliged to do. So I talk too much because time is urgent.
You're expanding the fields of peace. Thank you. And when you said we can create the wind of peace, Mernaz, Rick, maybe that's a time to, since we're entering this energy dimension for a moment, maybe that background, if you could just show it for a minute. So here, Mernaz, are we in a way generating cosmic rays in some of these things like the wishes or the elevations? We're adding our energies. Are we cosmic ray generators? I thought this is quite appropriate, which is on the box of this fan unit. Time to trust what you can't see, plasma wind. And is this what we're creating, Mernaz, or what you're asking?
I just say what I think now. Maybe tomorrow I learned something in my experiences. I change a little bit, not much. What I say is that intention, emotion creates those fields, whatever it is. Is it relation to cosmic rays, which is creator, or the field of God, or whatever field? Is it a relation to that hydrogen original field? What's going on in our mind, in our intention is creative, that moves something that can come to creation. There is something in the chat of one of the chats I saw this morning, somebody who does things and he says, heal, 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 and the person heals because that person is a master in creating the condition that in that condition, when he puts his emotion, his certainty, and his intention, that thing which he thinks happens. Understand? So that's the power of intention and emotion. And thoughts is something different than emotion, you know, intention. So
That's what we just heard in that excerpt, that it can be transferred just by one touch, as well as through the energy dimension.
yeah, I felt it the other day. I was not eating all day, and there is a store in the street. I passed, and it was the time we could start eating, just sunset. And I was there in that store, and the guy see that I'm tired. He was doing that also. He was fasting, and he had dates near himself. And I felt with his eyes, he asked me, "Are you?" It was the time of eating. "Are you fasting?" And with my eyes, I said, "Yeah," with my head. And then he really, I felt with his heart, he brought a branch of dates and he asked me to take, and I just take one and two. He insisted I take two. But I tell you, that felt so good. That felt
Very
so
nice.
good. I felt the whole sympathy, um, compassion, and something agreeable. That person agrees with me. That person wants to do something for me, because they didn't know I can do that. Also, maybe it was not expected. So I come home. I said that was something else. That was truly something else. Tomorrow at the same time, I do the same. I didn't do that, but yeah, that can be even by giving a date to somebody, but with eyes, with the feelings. You feel compassion, and I agree with what you do. I respect what you do. I I love what you do. That can be some kind of that. And I'm sure he didn't think of what he was doing, and I didn't think what I was answering. It was just like two children that, without thinking, just by nature, that kind of generosity, which was nothing. It was not generous, especially, but it was human feeling. Nothing in exchange, just doing something. We need to do these kind of things, and that's the kind of things that our soul elevates. Um, in my opinion. Things just do things because it's the right thing, because it's a kind thing to do, kindness. Nobody make us do that. It just, we feel in our hearts, I have to help this dog, or I have to help this woman who is lost in the street, or I don't have enough money, I want to buy milk, but okay, I do it. I do it to this person who seemed not in good shape. So this kind of kindness, as Mr. Keshe was saying something about kindness, like the human beings which are kind, that's the kind I love. You remember years ago, there
Yeah.
was a paper of Mr. Keshe. I love the kind people. Because people can have a lot of stratagem, or yeah, I do that, inviting people. That's not the same feeling I got with one date or two dates. You understand? I was shaken. I was feeling deep compassion, deep humanity, generosity. So we can use that. We shouldn't be afraid of having emotion, or having sometime in the middle of night I want to pray. I have tears in my eyes. Sometimes I go when there's, just in the balcony, and I see the stars, and I talk to them because they seem so beautiful to me, and I talk to them. And well, I don't want to make it long, but one day when I was talking 3 years ago, and I was telling them, okay, with my mom, it's going like that. And all of a sudden, I saw the light. I saw a light, like a bulb, like a light under this the same star, but very big. And I didn't even have time to understand what it is. And then it went left and disappeared in very, very short while. And I remember I asked Mr. Cash what it was. He said, like I was not there. I don't know what it is. But I don't know who, or Mr. Cash said, maybe you have friends in the star, maybe have friends up there, something like that. I can never forget that because I saw it with my eyes. But who knows? You can maybe, if you feel like in your heart, talk to a star, or sometimes a cat or whatever. So we can use more this emotion and not be fearful. We, just laugh when we feel like it, cry when we feel like it, and not to worry about, as long as we are honest people, that we don't harm anybody. So we can use all these emotions, human emotions. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So I go to did I read my?
Wishes? Not yet, no. The reason we put this up, maybe Rick is just showing the expansion of fields. Yes, time to trust what you can't see, plasma wind. And we're going into this wishes and this idea of energy, or in a way creating these cosmic rays through our emotion. Or maybe the emotion is the cosmic ray. This is what we just heard, that they'll have the ability to sort of transfer emotion, that you actually feel it within the physicality. This is another new development in a way, which could be embedded into the game of, fields of giving and loving.
Yeah, because I think Mr. Cash said emotion has fields, right? Anger has some fields, emotion has another kind of fields, a strength. So if emotion is a field, so cosmic ray and whatever ray or God's ray or God's fields, they have force also, they have a strength. So if we create by our emotions some fields, when he said somewhere that you squeeze the field and you create the wind, we can create something that goes towards our intention. You understand?
You better interview her in the Reactor group. I think she understands compression technology, Rick.
Yeah, well, you're certainly invited to Marinus.
Yeah, I love your program anyway, if I can. Oh, it's beautiful. I really enjoy your program. Very soft and easy and understanding. People are asking and talking nice things. I do. But anyway, Mr. Cash here and there says these things. And I think it's a good thing we look at nature, especially now that it's beautiful, the green, and how 1 month ago there was nothing, all of a sudden they're coming. I tried to break a branch which was going out, and normally they cut it when they branch. And it was so strong, I couldn't. It means even the branches of the things in the street are very strong at this moment. They have all the force of the earth coming from down to come up. So that's the right time to go out and close to the greens and everything green and life. That's the real life at this moment.
Well, thank you, Marinus.
Thank you.
Okay, well, let's move on to our next position here, which, as I mentioned, is the wishes. And we'll have a minute of silence after this wish. Please go ahead, Marinus.
Because I see things in videos, the hunger is still going on in Palestine and, of course, Sudan and some other places. So it's still a, a problem for humanity. So it goes, we, the Universal Council, give from our souls collectively for feeding all hungry people of soul or food in the world. People who are hungry in soul, even though they have a lot of food, people who are maybe rich or maybe not rich, but they have lack of food to eat. So in the whole world, because this world is our home and everything happens in the world, touches us. I just add something before 1 minute. Iranians have a word by Sadi, a great poet of Iran, because we have a lot of poets, and it's a country of poets. In fact, nobody talks about it. It says humanity are from the same jewel and the same precious thing. Okay, and we are all worth it. If I'm translating, if some humanity is like 5 fingers of a hand, if one finger hurts, the other hurts. And if you are not hurt by the finger which is hurting, if you are not hurt by the problem of the others in the world, you are not human. Because the humanity naturally should have compassion with that other part which hurts. So these are the poetry we learn at school, which people talk about, a part of the lifestyle of Iranians, and but then nobody talks about. They just say regime mullah, a lot of not nasty things about Iran. So, and we see now that they had the power, but they were silent. They just didn't want bloodshed. They just will want all that. So I hope it ends with peace, and then we'll have prosperity of technology. Thank you. So 1 minute of silence for the hungry people.
Mark, would you like to go ahead with this one?
Sure. Thank you, Rick, for the prompt. We, the Universal Council, elevate the soul of the people of planet Earth for them to be able to connect to the Creator without any intermediary.
And Shweta, are you available for this? Thank you.
Thank you, my dear. We, the Universal Council, wish for the enlightenment of humanity, not to be played for fools. Our wish is our command. We are present.
Dean, I think you're up for this one.
Thank you, Rick. Okay, so we elevate the souls of all members in the past, present, and future of the Universal Council as one soul, as one part of the totality of the knowledge of creation. And we are present with this wish.
Rick, was this Stefania?
Correct.
With the Universal Council, we started a new time, place the unicos, position soul of earth, possession hydrogen. Emotion is unconditional love.
we, the Universal Council, make condition for all for the all structure around the Keshe Foundation to be supporting financially and to have what they need at the point of need to bring a total change.
We, the Universal Council, give from our field strength to empower the world leaders to negotiate and sign the World Peace Treaty, pledging their nations to a permanent and everlasting peace on earth and throughout the universe. Our wish is our command. We are present.
Okay, that completes our wishes. And next we have what's called the connection between souls. And this week we have Shweta.
Yes, connection between souls. Indeed, beautiful. This is the way we do and say, I love you. So, I love you, my soul. Join the soul of man with the soul of physicality by speaking these words in this moment. Fall in love immediately. And you can experience that after a long time we are experiencing. Without any intermediary, we can say that. Yes, we can. And I adore you, my soul. See what the soul gave you back. And of course, you can feel, you can understand, you can observe the working of the soul. The soul is always working according to our desire. If we wish for peace, the path of peace is clear. So, thank you. And the soul connection, um, I am trying. One minute. And the soul connection. And I will insist, I always insist on breathing because one breath touches all time. Your breath exists in past, present, and future. In past, you just breathed, present, breathing now, future will breathe next. It is the only thing that exists in all time, all three times simultaneously. This makes the breath breath, the portal to you, to your entire timeline. One connection, connect conscious breath, releases past patterns, anchors present awareness, shapes future reality. All three, one breath. This is why breath work is so powerful. It's temporal medicine. So I will say, my dear, it is I just explained in English, and I will say it in Hindi. And we have 2 minutes for silence, for soul connection, for soul elevation, my dear beautiful soul. Breathe in and breathe out. Focus on that. Thank you. And yes, the soul connection starts in Hindi. I will explain. आपका श्वास ही जो हर समय अस्तित्व में है, भूतकाल में भी था, वर्तमान में भी है, भविष्य में भी होगा। श्वास एक साथ तीनों काल में उपस्थित है। इसी कारण ये आपका श्वास आपकी समय रेखा का द्वार है। एक सचेत श्वास लें, भूतकाल के विश्वास व्यवस्था से मुक्त हो सकते हैं, वर्तमान में जागृत रह सकते हैं, भविष्य की रचना कर सकते हैं। इसीलिए सचेत होकर श्वास पर ध्यान देना जरूरी है। यही श्वास आपके लिए लौकिक उपचार बन सकता है। यही कारण के है ध्यान में हम श्वास पर ज्यादा ध्यान देते हैं। तो आप श्वास लें और श्वास बाहर करें, और यही देना, यही प्यार करना, यही मिल बांट के रहना हमारा तरीका है एक मानव, एक जीवात्मा के लिए। तो आप सभी को स्वागत है सबका। वेलकम माय डियर ब्यूटीफुल सोल इन दिस सोल कनेक्शन, इन दिस beauty and totality, in this collective consciousness, and we are one soul. So welcome, स्वागत है आप सभी का। हृदय से अभिनंदन करती हूँ, कृतज्ञता देती हूँ आज यहाँ रहने के लिए। तो हम 2 मिनट के लिए ये प्रक्रिया को अंजाम देंगे, उसके बाद हम वापस से प्यार भरे माहौल में आ जाएंगे। तो आप, हम शुरू करते हैं। सांस लीजिए, सांस लीजिए, और ये 2 मिनट के लिए है। 2 मिनट बाद हम फिर हाजिर होते हैं। शुक्रिया। थैंक यू माय ब्यूटीफुल सोल। आप सभी का धन्यवाद करती हूँ, अभिनंदन देती हूँ, शुभकामनाएं देती हूँ इस समय के लिए, यहाँ प्रस्तुत रहने के लिए। आप सभी को शुक्रिया और धन्यवाद। एंड वेलकम माय डियर ब्यूटीफुल सोल। एंड दिस इज द वे व्हेन इन दिस silence, in this elevation, we say no words, like sitting in a valley of flowers, only observing, feeling the love, feeling the beauty, and connecting with all that is love. So, without any word, we said so much always. Thank you for being here, beautiful soul. Salam, namaste, salute.
Okay, we have
Sorry.
Ernest. Go ahead, please.
Sorry. Yeah, that's the decision of Universal Council, that everybody takes part in our wishes. And when we say wishes, we mean giving from our central energy, from our soul. Our soul is part of us, so we can use it also like a hand. Not that easy because you don't know it very well, but when we give from our souls, it's absolutely something positive. It goes towards what we want to send it. And that person or that thing profits from that. And this comes back to us, even though there is nobody, we send it. We send it to everywhere and it goes back to us. And that's our way of participating in creating soul in the world. And the more we are sincere, the more we are devoting our time for that, from our heart, from our emotions, the more and the fastest it happens. So it goes as we, the Universal Council, invite the Keshe and Universal family present on the earth in unifying at the soul level every time, every day, and at 9 p.m. CET and CEST for giving from our field strength, our central field strength, to enlighten the soul of world leaders, to negotiate and sign the World Peace Treaty, pledging the nation to everlasting peace on earth and throughout the universe. Thank you.
Okay, next I have a video to play from the 576 Knowledge Seekers Workshop. It's a couple of minutes where Mr. Keshe invites people to become part of the Universal Council. And just let me share that now. There we go.
There's something which I should have made announcement. As we are structuring in a new development of the Keshe Foundation, is worldwide application and implication. As we set up the structure for Universal Council, a number of Universal Council members have become old and they reach the age of 60, and they served during the 60 years they are there till 61. They to run the functionality of the operation of the what we call energy dimension, the Universal Council members, if you want to become, please consider and let your soul decide of many languages around the world, as these will be announced very soon internationally, and we expect the souls to serve. And if it's from the knowledge seekers who understand the technology with dimension of the soul, you can apply for to be added to and become a member of the Universal Council. The Earth Council is appointed by the Keshe Foundation on the grounds of true structure of the nationality, understanding the culture that there is no prejudice by physical dimension of the borders. And so if you feel your soul is there to serve humanity in expansion and the growth of it, just apply for it at the Keshe Foundation, or send the email to info@keshe.foundation, say I would like to be a member of the Universal Council. We receive this regularly, and now we're going to expand this very rapidly due to what is to come and what is to be done. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my dear Rick. I also want to add and call all the beautiful souls from all over the planet to join this peace and enlightenment path, servicing humanity, in service of humanity, I will say. And also, this evolution of peaceful way, evolution of living in peaceful way, accordingly with each soul in existence. So this is so beautiful. Please do join as Universal Council support, Universal Council members to join in this um, revolution, in this revolution movement of peace and enlightenment. The path is so clear. Thank you. Thank you so much. And we also invite you to connect with a member of the Universal Council to send us your question to be answered live each week and or the needs of their community, dear beautiful souls. As everything is in this evolutionary process, everything, even all of us as universal beings. So I welcome you, all of us, each other, to this Telegram groups of Keshe Foundation, Spaceship, Institute, organization. Very beautiful, very responsive, very in totality. Do join in different languages, choose your language, have your question. We are all learning, my dear. We are all learning, but we have an interaction, have a share, have a discussion of universal love. Thank you. Thank you so, so much. Salam, namaste, salute. Thank you for joining us as one soul of peace. Thank you.
And there will be an opportunity later for our attendees to ask a question or make a comment during our next part of the wishes. But first, you see, next I have a, and thank you, Shweta. Next I have another excerpt from the last 633rd Knowledge Seekers Workshop. This is about the soul and emotions. Starts at about the 1 hour and 30-minute mark. Oops. Bear with me a second while I get this set up. All right, I think we are ready. Just double check on my sharing. Yes, okay, here we go. About free will and respect to your teachings this morning. What is, I think, dependent on the human being if everything is from the soul of the planet?
Everything is not from the solar planet. We receive fields from it. It's us who decides how to react to it. It's another source of supply, or another source of interaction. When the magnetic field of the Earth, as a matter state, interacts with the magnetic field of the sun, creates the light. And then that light decides if it's dark, start of the day, full day, and the after. And that light dictates the condition that this planet reacts. Clouds, rain, storms. Clouds and storms and everything else is not created just because the Earth does it, whatever. It's the interaction of the field of the Earth with the sun. It's the same with our soul. A field strength from the Earth interacts with our soul. It creates this manifestation of existence.
It creates clouds, it creates storms, it creates emotions. We just look at the physical dimension, but if you take a magnet, a big magnet, and then you put little magnet, tiny ones, the dust of a magnet and a metal, they all interact with it. It's not just the big one. It's the same with the fields, which are at the strength of the soul of the man, interact with the field strength of the soul of the planet. It still creates its storms, it still creates its emotion. Is our comprehension of the reality, is our intellect, which bars us, blocks us to understand the similarity and confirmation of both. It's us which we see, oh, today is a sunny and now it's a rain, and then there is a storm. Where did the rain come from? Where did the storm come from? Isn't it because of the day when it was warm, water was evaporated and it created the dimension of the motion and then goes on? The cause of our planetary, all the havoc with our weather comes from the magnetic field interaction of the sun with the earth in a physical dimension. Temperature, high, heat, day and night. How come we can't think, we can't even understand? It just doesn't create the fields that interacts only with the atmosphere of the earth. It creates fields which interacts with the soul of the man. What a storm does it create? Why Africans are placid, Americans are aggressive, the Chinese are a different way. We receive different fields from it, and we interact with it. And if you understand this, then we understand the interaction of the storms which created by the interaction of the field of the earth with our soul, what condition it creates that we become disturbed people in interaction in the area we are, in community we are. Why we are certain way for certain races. And then we talk about man's soul dictates man's physicality. So the condition of the interaction of the fields with the inertial material which is in that environment, in interaction with the soul of the man, creates man. The food we eat, the altitude we live in, the condition we have accepted, then we understand we ignored the interaction of the soul of the planet with us, because in fact our races, our colors, our languages, our food is all dictated by it. Our features are dictated by it. But we ignore it. We just say, oh, there's a stormy weather, today is a date, tonight. The day is a date. With you, light in the sky is the same. The interaction of the same fields with your soul is the light in your soul. Because now your soul as a plasma interacts with that sun directly. If it's a daylight, it's a daylight. How do you feel it? Why do we feel good in the summer and in the warmth? It just doesn't warm our body. The field of the sun touches our soul, and we always ignore that. And then we look at the structure. If man understands this, 90% of the cancers are curable, but we don't understand it. So we find a solution in chemicals for it, or we pay money to the church to save that guy's life because he had a cancer. What's the interaction of the field of the earth with it and how it happened with this? Creation is very complicated. We just see what it suits us in the physical dimension. Any other question?
Very good, thank you. You see, we have two hands up from. Okay, completes our excerpt from the last Knowledge Seekers workshop. And now we have what's called the Knowledge and Understanding from the last 633rd Knowledge Seekers workshop with Stefania.
Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Eric, can you hear me properly?
Yes, you're coming through clear. Go ahead, Stefania.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So, yeah, I just want to say welcome everybody to be here today with us. Yes, last week was again another fantastic workshop, the 633. You should go and listen for sure. So as we talk today a lot about the interaction between soul and Mr. Keshe in this workshop went deeper on consider in all the equation when we interact at the soul level. He went deeper by adding the soul of the planet Earth. So he said, we're walking on this place every day, we live and die, we're born here, we just don't consider enough also this planet, how much this planet effect has on us and on our future, on if you want to travel into space. So it was very interesting because I mean I heard many times planet Earth is a being, you know, but this time Mr. Keshe really dedicate all the workshop on planet Earth and on the importance of what this does mean. So I really recommend you to go and listen because he said that this is the missing piece if we want to learn how to transmute. Because consider planet Earth means also considering what made the soul of physicality. So that the soul of physicality is made by interaction or this, sorry. So what made sorry, I'm correct myself. What make our physicality? What make our physicality is interaction of the our soul with the also the soul of this planet. And this is very important for us because if we want to transmute anywhere in the universe, and if we want to learn how to have the complete transmutation, where we want to be back to be physical again, we need to understand how to replicate these fields, because the soul of the planets is what will allow us to have the inertia to then build up the structure. He called him the structure of the cosmic ray. But if we understand the structure of the cosmic ray of the Earth, then we'll be able to manifest ourselves wherever we want in any part of the universe. But it goes more deeper than that, because he's saying if we understand the inertia and how to connect with all the soul, so the soul of the planet, the soul of the universe, the soul of the cosmos, the soul of the solar system, the soul of our body. So all the soul have a common denominator, and we know that in emotional term is the equivalent, you can say, of the unconditional giving or unconditional love. Yes, so this is very important. In this workshop, Mr. Keshe covered all this. So it's cover how it's important to be able to give, to be able to also replicate this emotion. And he also saying that fear is our most block. The fear of giving, the fear of not having enough, the fear that maybe you lose something, no? But if they take off this fear and we just give, we just give without fear, then we can get close to learn how to affect these fields that connect us, all of us at the soul level. Because it goes really in detail on this workshop, the importance of being able to change the magnetic fields of the interaction of the soul. So you can change the, for example, if you change the soul of the earth to as you want it to, you can create condition to then change the body of the man, because the physical body of the man, it's a consequences of interaction of the soul of the planet with the soul of the man. So he's saying, if you can, and give example, for example, when he's done with Naomi, or make example of this touch. So he said the touch is very connected with the feelings of love. If you can replicate that touch, that you must have in your life at least once a situation where someone had that touch that make a change from within in you. It really literally said there is that type of quality of touch that can change life in an instant. So he then going to talk about how he he was trying to explain this to scientists, how this is a waste of time sometimes to and I can see myself in this, because, for example, like I said before, no, if in rehabilitation, for example, you touch sport people get injured during sport, and they want to recover really fast for competition. He said that the science of today make you go through treatment, through programs. Even in my case, I study a lot the perception when we are in space. So you even imagine how you move, that then he will be able one day make you to be able to move even without exercise. That is still slow. He said all this procedure that the medical science do to rehabilitation or to prevention or to cure for something, it's very like a very slow process, like a snail-paced process. And we got in our hands, he said, but we don't use it. This gift of be able to use our hands to make that touch that can make an instant change. And I remember Gatwa telling us about his grandmother, that she was doing that very easily. She could, and you know, I was really, you know, if it's Gatwa is here, he can tell about his grandmother, but she would mix stuff from the ground and herbs, and then I think sometimes split, and it go all procedure, but it could cure everyone instantly. Animal, people, you know, children, people with severe condition, all with one touch cured. And like Mr. Keshe said in this workshop, is a skill that we used to have. Each one of us used to be able to do that. It was so in touch with nature, so in touch with planet Earth, so in touch with all the souls in existence, that it was able to change the environment very quickly. And Mr. Keshe give the tricks in this talk, in this workshop, where if you can change the environment, like the fish tanks, like the water in the tanks of the fish, you then, the body change instantly, our physicality change. And if we can get good with this, we can also shape-shifting. We can become a dog, we can become a tree, we can become birds, because we will learn how to interact with the soul of the planet. And we can, because it's the soul of the planet with us that will give us the interaction and the creating time of space, of place and a position. So what will give us the structure. So if we learn how to interact with that, then we can change the position, the structure. We can change a position, mean the position of a man, the position of a bird, the position of a tree. So just learning of interacting with the soul of the earth. And of course, if you want to travel into space, you have to consider the soul of the universe, the creator, the unicos. So it's getting more relevant how, and we start to understand more how this can be a tool for us to do what we want at the energy level. That's why Mr. Keshe also say that we are entering our new era. The Keshe Foundation, it goes away from the matter state environment and we go more into the energy state, because we will need to learn this. We need to learn how interact at the soul level, how to reflect the different emotion, so that we can change the environment, we can change time, position, structure, and place. You know, all these need to be learned. And this was the part missing. I just check if I forgot anything. But yes, very important. So he said that he'd experienced the fact that, you know, even in Naomi, he touched her when he was, actually, he didn't even touch her physically. He actually, he managed to touch Naomi soul through the voice, you know? So how to change sound, convert sound into then emotion that then can change all the structure of the physicality. So Mr. Keshe done this many times before. People in the past were doing it. So we just need to back and learn this again. So he said that there will come very soon systems. They will change the environment for us. So you will be able to go into a room and feel the condition of love. I have to say, when I went as a testimonial, when I went in Linz, I had very clear this experience where I had the goal was to have a party in the moon with all the Italians, and the goal was for me always been, when I went in Linz, was achieving the world peace, no? So I was going there for peace. So I remember when I was in the system, I felt clear like the sun, if no more enhanced than I would in a normal life. The feelings of accomplishment, the feelings of achievement, the feelings of we done it, we did achieve peace. So the feelings of, you know, it was clear. So I can see that what Mr. Keshe saying he can do, because I felt it in Linz and was super clear. And then I had also this experience when I felt the mint, when I was drinking this mint, and the mint was actually water, but it tastes like a mint, and it tastes exactly like a mint. So I can see how by copying the fields, we will now have nothing missing. We will have everything we need at the point of need. We have to just get used to how to learn how to manipulate things for to get what we want to get, the outcome we want to get. So for me, this workshop was really good, especially about the fears, this really obstacle that we all have. By saying, why we don't learn how to use fear, anger, any sensation, why we don't study them and learn what they can do for us, and how can we use to achieve what we want to achieve. Because at the moment, there are just like an obstacle. There are the things that stop us to go to the next step. So Mr. Keshe going a lot more in the second part, also on touching about the situation in the world right now. Something announcement very, very urgent, very important was to start measure the nuclear activity in the air, and really test the air, in places like Jordan, Valley, or Cyprus, Malta, Turkey, Syria, Palestine, Israel, all this area should start measure the radiation contest. Mr. Keshe goes more in detail why and what happened in those places. It's very interesting because he got different view from the media. Very interesting and makes more sense. But also I could see that there's going to be some justice very soon regarding frozen assets of people who making money on wars and destruction, using their assets to rebuild nation and people who have been damaged by. So you can go more into this into the second part. And then Mr. Keshe goes more into the touch, into the connect with the souls of the systems, for example. He's saying that, for example, in China, this actually is important part I forgot to mention. He explained why in China, people who collected the spoons contest of the material that was showed to be made in China with this reactor, why the material now disappear. And he said that something really important, like if we don't learn how to contain the fields of a soul, by containing them, we can create structure and we can hold on to this structure. The moment you cannot contain them, you are not able, this is more or less what happened when we depart. We cannot contain the fields of physicality because the soul of the man is too good, and we cannot match the fields of physicality to the fields of the soul of the man. So we tend to then leave the physicality behind. So it's really important how to learn how to contain them, and talk a lot about how you can make mass and weights, and now can be possible. How can be then by know this knowledge, you can create any things you need, even materials, because you will be able to contain the soul of the material. So very important things to learn, because this will be all the answer that we're looking for this new era. So thank you so much. Have to look, this workshop is really good. And by the way, when you listen the piece about Stefania, I didn't make the question. Rick, the question was not mine, but whoever made the question, I'm very happy to make me joy to hear Mr. Keshe laughing. So I'm happy he was laughing.
It was a beautiful reflection on you, Stefania.
Yeah, it's good. It was good. It was good. It's good he laughed, that's all. Yeah. Yeah, but yes, I was wondering what he was gonna say, so it was good. Yeah, so if anyone wants to add anything, but it was very good. Basically, stop having fear. There is no space for fear. If you give unconditionally, no problem. Yeah, if anyone want to add anything, or we can pass to Mushfaq. I don't know if anyone want to add.
Stefania, it's Dean here. I'd like to say something.
Yeah,
Thank
good,
you.
because I'm sure I forget stuff. I hope you're well. Okay.
I am, yeah, you too. Right, so thank you, Stefania, for all the knowledge you always share. And she shares much knowledge with many, many people from her understanding of what Mr. Keshe has been teaching. And I'm looking through the transcript now, and there are many, many instances here of just everything that Stefania's been talking about, where the physical touch of when you actually are giving. So let's let's take away the touch. Let's say that it's the sun and the earth, and you have those magnetic fields between them. And we know that the sun's very large, a large entity, a large soul, and it feeds the energy to the planet Earth. And those interactions, as Mr. Keshe was saying earlier on, the interactions of those magnetic fields when it touches the Earth creates the light. So if you can create that soul intention through through the hands, we'll say that in this instance, we'll say through the hands. So, when some people put the hands together and they hold them in a position for 20 seconds or so, maybe a little bit longer for some, you start to feel magnetic fields between the palms of your hands. Now, these hands, these palms, they're actually field generators. They actually have a resonance that have a very special position. And when you place them together, it's like placing the sun and the earth together and feeling those magnetic fields from an atom to a universe. So if you can imagine doing that with a cell in your body, being the weakest, the most humblest, and then you transfer the energy from that back to another much larger entity, then it's an interaction of fields. It's been spoken about many times. Mosfeq has spoken about it, where an interaction of the larger and the weaker, and how you can use these fields to create a field flow direction in the middle. Mr. Keshe is talking about this in many, many different ways. This is the technology. We know that many on planet Earth have used certain knowledge in the wrong way to create interactions where they make financial gains and everything else. And Mr. Keshe went into this in great detail in this workshop, talking about the interaction of nuclear, and he's saying that he has a nuclear way beyond this. He's been able to create magnetic fields that are way beyond the nuclear program. How do you think this happens? It's the same interaction as what we've just been speaking about. It is the interaction of the intention with the fields and creating in the matter state. So you don't need the matter of a physical being to be able to do this. It's the interaction of the soul. When you give from your soul unconditionally, you become that energy pack that can feed another. You can actually give to them. You create the magnetic field like the field between the sun and the earth, and you get that rubbing together of the fields. You create. You can say it in many different ways. You create the light or not. It could be just a magnetic field, but you are creating energy. You are giving. You are not a prophet. You are not. We're not claiming that you are anything other than a normal, everyday, from a man on the street to a prime minister. There's no difference. We're all souls of the creation. And when you understand that, you start to interact in a different way. You give in a different way. And then don't take any understanding from the other that you don't wish. Just give. See it as a magnetic field that has no limitation, doesn't need to take. It just accepts what is given, but it always gives in the right way. So it's creating peace, it's creating harmony, it's creating balance, it's creating a field flow that is interacting, and it is that interaction that gives us the ability to transmute. And it's been spoken about again today. Everything we've heard people speaking about, souls speaking about, is a transmutation. At the moment that the voice, these words that we speak are going out, they are creating, for many, they don't understand, not totally the plasma, but a vibration in the matter state. They're creating a field flow, and that has a manifestation. It has a field strength. This interaction is what the plasma is. We use this in the correct manner with the correct ethos to create dynamic flow interactions from the centralized energy force of the soul and give and create matter, create as you wish. And this knowledge is being gifted. It's beyond nuclear. You have an understanding of it, and you have a responsibility to understand the beauty you have. And these are the teachings of the One Planet, One Nation, One Race from Mr. Keshe. And it is extraordinarily beautiful when you interact with it. And no matter who you are, as I said, it can be the cat, the dog, the fish, the man, woman, child, it does not matter. It's given from your soul, receiving from the soul level, that is the interaction that creates well beyond nuclear. And when you understand that and you stop looking at just the matter state, then you understand some of this, some of these teachings that Mr. Keshe has been saying. And this is how, as it says on the screen now, we will end the war, hunger, and end the suffering when we understand this interaction. So join us on the journey, and hopefully you'll tap into the knowledge that's being shared unconditionally for humanity to receive in this particular moment. Thank you all. Thank you, Stefania. Thank you, Rick. And I don't know if anybody else would like to say something. Thank you.
Okay, well, I do have another 10-minute excerpt from the last Knowledge Seekers workshop. So perhaps we can engage in that. Let me see here. Okay. This is at the 1 hour and 6 minute mark. And again, it's about the emotions and love.
Last week, you taught that the children of Mitra are created through the field strength of the soul, and that the Creator still creates new life after trillions of years through its field alone, through what you call the wish of giving. My question, what is the wish of giving made of? What is its essence, its field strength? And how does man learn to hold that same wish within its own soul so that it too can create life the way the Creator creates? Is what we experience as love the same substance as the Creator's wish? Or is love simply the closest word man has found for something the soul has always known but mouth has never been able to speak? Thank you.
Thank you very much. The reality is, it's always been there. We do not understand it. And the more we created religions, the further we became from it, because they were supposed to handle it and we are just the users. And those who were supposed to handle it, they never understood themselves, so we walked away more and more from it. The biggest problem with human race is not knowing the love the way, or creation the way the Creator did. The biggest enemy of the man is the fear of the man. When you use fear, you take the beauty of giving. We are afraid that if we give, we have nothing to live. If we give, there'll be nothing there for the future. And we, even in our physical life, we save that one day is needed. And the fear they have created for us with the dimension of love, that is the punishment, is this and that, has been the main obstacle for man to understand the emotion of the Creator. And once we take the element of the fear away from the man and give him the pleasure of giving, or the love, man will move to the position of assessing himself in what it is and how he decides to use his soul for the dimension of the anything, transmutation, creation, or anything else.
In China, many Chinese, depending on the culture they come, when they get married, they go to a process, the couples, before they have a child. It's very common. Our Chinese community people tell you. When I met the guy first time, a man who was married and he was trying to have a child, and he explained to me, I said, I don't eat this, I don't do that. I said, why? He says, I'm planning to have a child. And for 6 months or whatever, I go through this process like a purification of the body of the man, that the child is perfect. But he doesn't look what is sitting in his DNA. He doesn't touch alcohol, he doesn't do, there's a lot of ritual. Chinese community friends can tell you. Some of the couples in China go through this. In the best time, we have a child. Creating the children of Mitra, creating the soul out of the love of the creation in the dimension of energy needs the same preparation. Man has to prepare itself to give from the energy of his soul. Then, are you 100? Are you 50? Are you 20? Age doesn't matter. A 60-year-old, 90-year-old woman still can be a child. As a man can, even they say he cannot produce anything. You train your body, you train your soul to what I call give in the energy of the soul of the man as a love for the energy to be structured in a womb of the mother for the child to take dimension of physicality. That's all it is. Not being afraid of becomes the love, the giving. And now man, fear, emotion of fear is the lock in him to become the same as the creator. Everything which you're afraid of is another lock on the key of connection to be loved. If I love, can be loved back. I'm 100. If I create a child through the emotion of the soul of man, would I be there to support it? God gives you another God, but your soul accepting it, you last 200 years to see that child through. Because I accepted the soul of the creation, what I created. It's the same with the creator. And we don't understand this. And the religions use it to its maximum, to put fear in man, for man not to have, not to understand the love of giving, the love of creation the way the Creator does. If we never would have created out of the lack of in us, we never understood the structure of the creation, we created gods in the stone. And then those who saw gods in the stone created God in imagination, but the same fear. We sacrificed virgin girls for the rain to come. And every time we did, it came. And then if it didn't, we'd sacrifice another virgin. We sacrificed slaughtered animals. We did everything else except saying we are ignorant. It doesn't rain. There is something wrong. There is not enough clouds. And we can make it nowadays. We send an aircraft with bits in it and it rains. Now we sacrifice virgin hundreds of years ago to rain. Now we launch an aircraft and it spreads itself in a space and it rains. But it's the knowledge. If we had this knowledge, would we done this? Wouldn't we created a fear? This is something which takes years, centuries for man to understand. The shackle of fear has stopped man to love the way the Creator loves, has no fear. Is one of the emotions which does not exist in the vocabulary of the creation of the universe. Whatever comes, welcome. It's what I did when it came to Linz, if you remember. We don't have no fear. There is nothing we can criticize. We accept whatever you say, because that's the dimension of the freedom of the soul of the man. And if we understand that, we'll be as loving as the Creator. Needs no dimension. But man put restriction, and when you put restriction out of fear, you see what will create. Those of you who've been around me close to the foundation always said, I have no fear. We serve humanity, and somehow the creators brings us to serve more. I'm never worried what's going to be the next, because the next is already, God has created soul for it to be there, to be organized, to next step, because if it's not there, we don't understand that, and then we do something wrong with it. And every step we learn. You take your fear out of the man, man will be the most loving thing in everything in the universe. We don't give love to our children, because if we love them too much, they might become spoiled. What about if you give so much love to your child that it gives its beauty of its creation created to you? We even control how much we love the one we created. It's God that way. Because they put in our, if you give him too much, he becomes spoiled, blah, blah. Spoil him with love and see what love does with it.
All right, that's our excerpt from the 633rd Knowledge Seekers Workshop of last Thursday. And thank you to Mika for that question, which stimulated that answer. All right, I think we can move now to, I can find it here. There we are. To transmutation time with Moshfek.
Hello, everyone. As we have just heard, Mr. Keshe was talking about fear. So the fear exists in us. We are well aware of it because it is a commonly abused aspect of our presence on this planet. So, and this becomes hindrance for us existing in physicality on this planet in a way that we are barely aware of it, which causes suffering. But do we need all this? So fear is something that we have to face. And how do we face it? We face it by examining the underlying emotion. And that requires a bit of observation. That requires this observation to use it to see how this emotion connects with us, connects with our idea of what is reality and all that. And then we can slowly see that the point of origin within us And then from there, we can identify how it was introduced into our thinking, both individually and collectively. So let's first work with the individual aspect. So as we identify the source of it, and we can see it is often really silly or ridiculous, and this is not a cause of shame. It becomes a cause of amusement. And if we look at it in the eye of an amused individual, it's very easy to detach from it. Instead of having an accusatory tone, we have a tone of levity, a lightness that moves us away from it very easily and quickly. And then once this burden of fear is lifted, we start to see possibility of engaging our capacity to create. And as we start to create, as we start to engage our soul and our soul of physicality, our mind, not hindered by these shackles of fear, we can see results. Things start to happen which we never knew that we could do. And that forms the basis of not only elevating ourselves, but elevating others. It creates a field around us. And with this field, the people around us are affected. It's not that we have to say anything. Mere presence is all it takes. I mean, it can start at the family level, friends level, and community, and the planet as a whole. And we don't know it yet, but it goes beyond the planetism. And this is what being part of universal community would be. And there, the universal community is expecting humanity to take their rightful role in this community of being. And aren't we up for it? Not just here, but everywhere. And every time. And this is where we have to start connecting with not just beings like us, but beings such as our planet. The beings such as the center of our galaxy, central sun of our galaxy, and beyond. And we have talked about connecting with the soul of the planet and affecting everything on this planet. But connecting with the other entities that exist in a larger scale, the solar system, the galaxy, and so forth. we not only become an active participant in this environment, we see our connection with all of these entities. And the interesting thing is that we can reposition ourselves with respect to all these entities. Physically, and in other ways we are yet to fathom. But that would be a wonderful beginning. We participate actively by elevating these entities and even detaching from them when we want to explore a new horizon, another galaxy, another solar system, another point on this planet. It's not that we are leaving what we were used to. We can always come back to it. We know it. In fact, coming back, speaking of coming back to it, we can come back to our point of origin. That is our connection with the Creator. And as we explore this connection with the Creator, the rest of it becomes much easier. And that's our connection to the real origin. And all these words that we use, such as transmutation, is no longer words that we talk about. We live it. We live it not just, we live it not just as being, but as a community of being. So it is an invitation to get there. So why are we waiting for it? Let's do it. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. Anyone else?
Yes, my dear Moshfik, you said you so beautifully, as always you do. And thank you to Stephanie also, explaining the condition we can create. And that is our truthful, our true self. We can do that always. And now we understand how to do that. It is always a way then when we talk about fear, like embedded in in our DNA, this fear. And even I have seen the women in India say worship the goddess, become fierce and joined in the feminine revolution and all. And I'm saying about they say, this is so tiny, but this is so radioactive, I will say, and affects everybody. And in India, there is a ritual that women in their menstrual period should be alone, should be, they are forced to be alone, and they cannot cook, they cannot merge with another people, but even the husband, and nobody can, she cannot feed with her hand anybody at that time, especially the husband, as if she feeds the husband at that time, the husband will be cursed and he will die. And this is followed in the level of educational people also. They are so fearful about this, embedded in this. I have asked, why do you do that? Why do you do that? Even in my family also, my grandmother, my great grandmother, they used to do that. When they were in the menstrual period, they can't cook. The cook comes, and all the cooking was done by him. So this is the fear we have to face, that even we say it is small, it is so much, suppressing that is so much like cancer. We need weapon, a rifle, this is enough. So if we say fear, we can, like, I have no fear and suppress it anyway. But when we face it, we understand it should be eliminated forever. It shouldn't be there. That is the main key, as you invited, my dear Moshik. We have to ready for that, We have to ready for that. Without any fear, without even the body. Yes, we need what we need. We understand what we need. But all the time, us talking about physicality, all the time talking about, like the war is going on, whatever, war, unpleasantness and all. There is a there is a Sikh guru, Guru Nanak Dev. A, a person came to him and said, he was a very rich person, and said, Gurudev, I'm so unhappy. I have everything. So the Guru Nanak Dev said that Nanak Dukhiya Sat Sansar. The whole world is unhappy, my dear. These happiness you see are illusion created by this matrix. So understand what is true, what you don't need anymore. And the fear will be gone forever. So thank you, my dear Moshik. Thank you. Salam. Namaste, salam.
Okay, I do have an excerpt from the 633rd workshop play, but before that, we have an invitation to the monthly cosmic ray transmission session. And Mark, I believe you're up for describing that.
Yes, thank you, Rick. Again, the next, this is a set of 3, and the final one for this set of 3 will be on April 17th. And again, they're continuing to develop the transfer or transmission of an emotion in a way that it can be felt in the physicality through the cosmic rays and through the systems. So this is helping to keep the Keshe Foundation free, a bigger gift to humanity in a way, because some of these developments, or many of them, will be put into the game and used other ways to, again, pulse that emotion of loving and giving. So we thank all those who are keeping the Keshe Foundation free. And you can also purchase a ticket for someone if you'd like, if you don't want. But I think in this session, we'll probably have a little bit of a roller coaster ride with emotions. As Mr. Keshe said, we can create fear in you, we can create joy in you, and perhaps we'll have a little bit of a taste, and maybe even some of those emotions will linger. In other words, you'll be unusually joyful for the next period of time until it wears off, and hopefully it doesn't wear off, or some of the other things that they're developing for humanity. So again, join us. This is keeping the Keshe Foundation free, allowed to develop in whatever way it likes to grow. And again, you're just bringing a bigger gift for humanity, but you may get a taste in that work, in this session, of going through different experiences as he introduces different cosmic rays of emotion that you feel it in the physicality. And of course, we look forward to providing some feedback on what they are testing, and so we can help tune the system. And this is just another way you can support, either by participating or allow someone else to participate by writing to info@keshe.foundation or ordering through the store, and let the foundation appoint that free ticket to someone. It'll bring a great pleasure, and of course that pleasure, those emotions, will come back to you as well. So thank you for participation, and thank you all for keeping the foundation free.
Okay, and thank you, Mark, for that. And I'll just note that our slide here says the next session is March 27th, but that session has been canceled and put forward to the, what was it, April 17th?
I believe. That's what I've heard, yeah. It's in the store, I believe.
Yeah, and when I was sharing the store, I'll just go back to that briefly so you can see. I put the link in the chat. Here's the store. There's the option for April 17th. It's the only remaining option for the cosmic ray transmission. And that's found right at the top of the Keshe Foundation store so far. We do, as we mentioned before, this store will be changing quite soon. And it's already started there. I think they're changing things as they go, just to clean up some of the things in the store now before they transfer everything to the new Shopify store.
And of course, there's Easter bundles as well, some of the resin material and other things that are in the store. And as Mr. Keshe said, in the next couple of years, they'll be introducing hundreds and thousands of very unique products. Even products that are beyond the imagination of the man will start to appear here, which some of them have already appeared, such as the cosmic ray material and so on and so forth. But I think that's what they'll be testing in the transmission session, is more about the transfer of emotion through the cosmic ray. And of course, we know we're cosmic ray generators as well. So perhaps we'll, again, get a taste of this to be able to transfer, as Mehran had that beautiful interaction with the store person and felt, this interaction quite strongly. I think that was an interaction of the souls, or perhaps what they use is the cosmic rays. This is what we're sort of getting used to. Hard to create it in the matter state, but the foundation does on a regular basis. But within that universe, you certainly have all the hydrogen 1, 2, and 3, and every other sort of connection you need, and you can create it in that energy dimension. So this is what we're learning a little bit more about ourselves and our ability to sort of tap in and connect. And I'm going to be working a little bit more on this connection with the soul of this planet. Apparently, it's an integral part in you appearing as a Chinese, because those fields are there. It's almost like, in a way, getting some sort of permission from the mother to move. Maybe we need that in the beginning. But yeah, I think it's almost a two-part system. The way we create the Dome of Peace, something for the physicality to do, and then something for your energy level to do. So with this connecting to the soul, I was thinking, we talked about, Mr. Keshe still practices it, walking on the beach or walking on the earth, something showing your physicality wants to connect, and you're aware of the soul of this planet. And again, recognition goes a long way with souls, apparently. And then, of course, raising your hands up into the skies in a way, or above you, and creating some sort of antenna. Again, connecting not only with the universe, but as he said, the nano-material on the toes is made to connect to the earth. So another thing for the physicality to do. And then, as Stefania was also saying, on the energy level, learn how to connect the emotion of the soul of the man with the emotion of the soul of the planet. He said you'll be able to transmute. But there's probably a few finer points that we're going to be learning about it. That might be just the rough explanation in a way. But we're privileged and humbled to be here and to be helping humanity, as we all are. Whether you're participating in these transmission sessions or not, we know on the soul level you're supporting. And in many instances, as we heard with Dean and others, they've actually, in a way, connected, as we're all always connected.
Well, a good synopsis there, Mark, and thank you. Well, we have an excerpt from the last 633rd Knowledge Seekers Workshop. This is about the news and about Keshe Foundation products from Mr. Keshe. And it's about 17 minutes. So I would like to play that now. And after that, we'll have our needs and wishes. Okay, here we go.
Our ancestors, we have scientific data recorded how we have an arm trapped under a stone. Our ancestors didn't die, we die because we are trapped. We got an arm between the wood and the stone and we cannot move. Our ancestors, the first thing that's like the lizards, they could think and separate the arm at the point of the joint and rebuild it. This is what we see with reptiles. It was an exclusivity of them. Every created thing on this planet living had that knowledge. As I said, you will see very soon, it takes less than $1, maybe a few dollars, finger gets chopped off. Now you don't have any use of it. It's there, it's gone. If you can stitch it, microsurgery. It should be a system in the fridge of every doctor, $1. Oh, you cut a finger. In 6 months, you have your finger. Don't worry. You don't need to take tablets. If you understand this, which very soon you will see in the structure of the Keshe Foundation work, you don't have a kidney. You have your kidney is taken out. We create a condition that the kidney grows in space. Because the emotion of the survival, the emotion of the creation, the emotion of the environment in the body of the man connects with the soul of the emotion of the man and creates things. You've seen this done with the brain of Naomi. We've seen this done with fingers and toes. It's not a magic, it's understanding the process of the creation in the dimension of cosmic rays and the plasmatic condition of the structure. Then we go to the next step to understand how this is created, how we can create it. And hopefully in the March session, which is now transferred to April, we'll test this process. How many of you will go through the emotion of the connection to the field strength transmutation of the soul of the planet, that it can move on this planet? We take you for a test drive. As I said, with the space scientists in the past few days, we cannot do because we have the technology, but we don't have the computers to control it. The combination of it all. We need AIs, what we call computer scientists, to program this, that it works faster than our understanding of electronics, perceives, understands, creates a condition that is this to that place. It creates the soul emotion that man can move immediately. It's the same with our space technology. We can make the material, but the data, the systems cannot be controlled. The computers are too slow. We need future prediction plus the present to see where it can be replicated through the soul of the system, not the dimension of movement of the system. Perceiving the manifestation of the soul in a dimension of place, position at the same time together. So, knowledge seekers, now you know why you cannot transmute so easy. You go and you cannot manifest. It took us years to understand this, and it sounds like one teaching of 633. To create that dimension, to create a condition of emotion for transmutation of the soul of the man in connection with the soul of the planet. Otherwise,
we'll still be busy with it. We're making systems, but we cannot. We move the soul, but we can't move the physicality because a part of the knowledge was missing. For those of you who signed up for the 3 sessions, the March session is delayed to April. It's already, you receive a note for it. We want to test something new. As you know, we just don't do because we say so. We are setting up new structures, and it has to be, once we understand, to be transferred to the transmission we like to do. On the other hand, what we call the resin packages, I was told to announce that now has been made back to the 250, 500 and 1,000 euro packs for Easter. There's still time to order for that shipment. What we call looking for qualified people in the scientific world. Many of you have written to us. We know your background does not fit into what we want. But if you have connection with anybody in any dimension of the scientific world, we're still looking for experts. We're not looking for knowledge, because what just happened to be in the structure of the work of the Keshe Foundation at the very advanced research level. In fact, Keshe Foundation is your point, and at the same time, please remember that next week's teaching is to 6 o'clock in the evening, Central European time, not the 9 o'clock in the morning. And we try to, at the same time as we promised, by 21st of March, bring into operation the game to its normal level, as our structure is set up to. That it'll be announced hopefully in the future, as there is a discussion going in the back that with the coins you can buy flight sessions and other things. In a way, we accept your coins for certain services of the Keshe Foundation initially to start with, which gives you a lot of leverage on other things. This will can in the future include the flight systems and transportation and transmutation and the rest of it, which means you play the game, and then you with it can buy what I call transmutation tickets and whatever else. It might be as part of the Keshe Foundation work. There is a lot of things in the pipeline, and as usual, when we get to it, when it's completed, we'll in a way divulge to you that what we're going and what needs to be done. But the structure of the knowledge has to be opened up. And in the coming time, we are on the verge of massive changes inside the Keshe Foundation, thanks to the support of knowledge seekers. A new dimension, a new, what we call, structure of the Keshe Foundation will emerge in 26-27. That, as usual, we keep everything till is and what it is, and as much as is needed is released and brought to your attention, or you'll see it as what we call as part of the structure of the work of the Keshe Foundation. In the next 2 or 3 years, we will release hundreds and thousands of products within the structure of the Keshe Foundation. Some beyond imagination, some beginning of the structure to understand more how. Some in the process of the understanding of how to create emotions through not only gloves, it's even in the emotion. We try in the work of the foundation to move away from matter state
into the field state, and we are running tests in separate parts of the foundation that when you come, for example, in a room, you can feel the emotion of love. You can feel the emotion of, you don't need to wear a glove. This is emotion of the whole body of the man to go in that position. And this changes people. So when we talk about the glove, when we talk about the structure, we now look at the fields, and one of the things which will come into our process, we tested it 2 weeks ago, if I'm correct. We know that compression, and now we add a new dimension in our research in the next few days, which can convert that emotion as a field into the physical dimension of actual feeling it, how you convert it. It's a new development in our structure, something I tested years ago, and now we are bringing it into operation. That we change the whole environment. You go into the room, it's like psychedelic drugs, but this is the energy of love, energy of giving, and then our brain gets tuned into it, and we behave that way. I come from children of 60s and 70s. Many of you, if you've been born that way, at that time, you know what it means. Freedom to love and to be and to experience that is not open to our children today. Children of 70s and early 80s, if you're a teenager, are a race that will never repeat it because we felt that. And now we can create an environment to do that. Free to love, free to be part of, not be afraid of. And this is the part of the process. We are going into the next, since last week, to create more environment than a physical structure that we can walk in, and we know exactly what to do. And we tested this. I was going over the data of the Valentine. I was going over the data of the week after Valentine, the week after, and what I received from the knowledge seekers who've been in the tests. And it can be done. Not it can be done. It can be taken to the next step. We receive only emotion of the length of loving, and we transmit love. We receive love. I sometimes say humans are born to experience, to understand. And you have to understand when you're in love with someone and someone says, I don't know what love is. And you say, how is it possible? Then now I understand what I heard years ago. We are selective in what we love and selective who we say we love. Now with this technology, with what we have, we love everyone, and everyone can give, convert even the what I call emotion of hate back into loving, that they receive it back. It's very, very, very interesting. I've met 2 or 3 people in my lifetime that they say we don't know what love is. And they live by it, it's not just a word. But they selectively love certain things. Why do we fall in love and fall out of love? How do we connect ourselves to it? How do we create that emotion? Now we understand it. One of the field strength which we continuously receive from space, from cosmic rays, is a field strength. It has a specific strength that creates man to love, because that is the different. We have discovered that bandwidth of the field. We can play with it, and we can see how we don't need to change things, but we can create an environment that brings that change. And the only thing which blocks it is our emotion. We have an emotion set in our body that blocks this to be, and has made man a killing machine. If you live in Malta, knowledge seekers, if you live in Cyprus, knowledge seekers, you live around Mediterranean countries, Greece, Turkey, Iraq, Syria, Jordan, Israel itself, start measuring radiation level. It must be high and reported. And then we evacuated Chernobyl area. We have to evacuate Palestine from all the Israelis. Yeah. Thank you very much for today. And I hope we still are here, and we still can have a session. Next session next week is at 6 o'clock Central European time in the afternoon. And don't forget the 21st of March. We're hoping that our people are ready for release of the Enlightenment and Peace game, as a game opened up. If they can complete it, we hope so. And it'll be sometime next Thursday, the eve of the Persian New Year. We hope we celebrate together a new beginning.
All right, that completes the excerpt from the Knowledge Seekers Workshop. I think we can move to the needs and wishes part.
Yes, yes, indeed. Absolutely. Thank you, my dear. Any interaction or anything from any beautiful soul?
Well, let's extend the invitation to our attendees here in the Zoom call that if you want to ask a question or say something, you can raise your virtual hand and we can open your microphone. And otherwise, you can put a comment in the chat or the Q&A here in Zoom, or folks in the YouTube can put a question there. And so far, I don't see anything in particular, but perhaps someone will indicate as we go through our wishes here. I'll just remind folks that we'll have a 30 seconds of silence for each of these wishes.
Yes, my dear, thank you. And the wishes that is in need. We, the Universal Council, give freely from our soul to elevate the soul of the leaders to achieve peace in the Middle East. Now, our wish is our command. We are present.
We, the Universal Council, give from our soul collectively to protect all the world and Iran from all evil. Evil.
We, the Universal Council, elevate the soul of the leaders and of the population throughout the American continent to live in harmony, respecting each nation as equal. We, the Universal Council, give from our soul for the protection of all those living with fear in natural disaster areas, and our soul wishes to help cover all emotional and physical needs.
We, the Universal Council, elevate the souls of the leaders involved in conflict in Sudan and other areas only by greed with unconditional love and inner peace, so that they respect the lives of all populations because they are sovereign and free. Our wish is our command. We are present.
We, the Universal Council, give through our souls that Russia and Ukraine can find peace for the sake of all the families of the planet.
Thank you, my dear. Here is the key. We are here to serve, not to be served. Beautiful soul. It's all about giving. this love you have stored for so many years. From eons, I will say. Thank you and welcome, welcome, welcome to the beautiful, beautiful energy of Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute organization. Suswagatam, welcome, welcome into the beautiful energy of beauty and totality of your all universal souls. We are all souls in existence, dear beautiful souls. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the family of love, Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute organization. And well, do join, love, hug. The Universal Council. Salam, Namaste, Salute.
All right. Well, thank you, Swata, and thanks to all the members and support members of the Universal Council for putting together today's presentation and implementing it as well. And thank you, everyone, for attending and being part of our audience today. And perhaps you'll consider being part of the Universal Council one day. Let me see that completes our 422nd One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace for Tuesday, March 17th, 2026. Our next public teaching workshop is the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group. That'll start tomorrow, Wednesday, March 18th at the 7 a.m. Central European Time. And that's for folks who would like to discuss or show things of the plasma technology. And we tend to look at the practical side as well as some of the theoretical aspects as well. And try to have a variety of topics, but always bring it back to the plasma technology. Okay, and we have the Knowledge Seekers Workshop coming up on the 19th. That's Thursday, the 19th of March. And as Mr. Keshe just mentioned, that will start at the 6 p.m. Central European Time instead of the 9 a.m. usual time. I see we have a hand up here with Stefania, so there's something she would like to say, perhaps.
No, sorry, it was a mistake. Sorry.
The old inadvertent hand, as we call it. Yeah. Thank you. All right. Let me see. I think that's it then for announcements. And
then we have dance.
One little thing to end with. It's a big
dance and clap.
You
can, beautiful souls. Beautiful
yes,
souls.
We'll have the opportunity to clap and dance your way into the day.
Dance. Yes.
And again, thank you everyone for attending today's workshop. And we go out with the Flight Enhancement Spaceship Unit music version. And bye for now, everyone. All right, I have to get the virtual jumper cables out here and restart this this one. Let me just do that here.